Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. I'm Luce, and you can't see it from here, but I officially finished the relic. Well, at least the first step. So, the good news is I can now make as many of these as I want as long as I have the right tomestones for it. And I've already worked on the next step, but it's gonna be ages before I get anywhere with that. The next step is a light grind stage, which means I just do roulettes, basically. So I just do my dailies, and it'll naturally fill up after around 10 to 12 days, depending on how it all goes. So, I can try and speed it up, but it's been known to be very difficult to do that, so we're just gonna go to the Occult Crescent, and, oh yeah, I guess I could show off. The Reaper Scythe was, of course, the first one, but I did get the Gunbreaker one because I think that's one of the better looking ones so far. That and Gunbreaker was in need of an upgrade. Red Mage, I should definitely be doing here, though. Should repair before going in. Excellent. Alright, we're still using the same old weapon, for better or for worse, but I'll get that one next, I think. I just wanted to get the tank weapon right away because, well, as mentioned, a lot of these are roulettes, and as is well known, tanks have a much quicker queue time for those. I don't think too many would be interested in those in queue times though, so I figure I'll just go with Althorn for tonight. Oh yes, by the way, while I was I didn't just complete the first relic step here, I was also doing a number of other things, and one of them was I went back to Eureka to get reminded exactly why I seem to think it was Peak, because I think it was, now I'm just gonna do the CE here. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I figure I should go ahead. Yeah, I figured I should see make sure it's not just nostalgia talking. And I went specifically to a Nemos to start very, very at the beginning, and I quickly got reminded of, yeah, there's a couple of reasons a Nemos is disliked. I mean, now this one, there's a CE every few minutes, and there's fates that are often up. There's very little downtime. Bozja's pretty much the same thing. However, it's a bit more linear process for Bozja, but the point is, there's not too much downtime, so you can go one-to-one. Eureka is a lot different. The notorious monsters there are basically fates, and they all amount to, well, first of all, they're very easy, but also I'm losing my train of thought here. Oh yeah, it's very, long story short, it's easy for all the fates in Eureka to be on cooldown at the same time, so you can have very large bits of downtime. Now, for some, that's a good thing, because it means, yeah, it's a good thing because it means you can use the downtime for other things, exchange stuff with currency without feeling like you're missing anything, like do whatever without, maybe even AFK the bathroom or whatever without feeling like you're missing anything. But the opposite can be true here as well. Like, some might find a bit even easier time. Like, an easier time. Probably even saw when I was grinding the Atmas, that eventually I realized, oh, I'm gonna be missing something no matter what. So, and I figured I'm not gonna worry about it. I'll only do the ones that I really want, which is also why near the end of my grind, I was basically only doing ones that would drop a demi-atm I wanted. First off, it's going to be a knockback. We have to be close for this, I believe. Yep. Next is another knockback. Oh, that's a plus. Gotta stay away from that. I definitely don't want to be next to the tank that's about to get hit by a tank buster. That usually cleaves. I don't remember what it does here, but it's generally a good rule to follow in this game. Alright, so that one's going to be a pushback. That one's going to be close. Plus. Pushback. That's why I think it's a pushback. I'm in no way optimal on this job, so, my damage is not nearly as high as it could be, but I can do one thing that any player can do in this situation. Get completely gear carried, because I'm going to be getting the Red Mage's gear first. I mean, first of all, you saw how massively under-geared I am with the Neo Kingdom set. So the stuff here is genuinely an upgrade even outside of it. Ah, crap. Ah, crap. I'm in bad shape. But yeah, I'm gonna stay Red Mage because I do want to kill things, so I need something with good damage, but I also want to revive because even once I get the Dead Man's the tail achievement, there's a... As you can see, people drop like flies in this area, so I'm gonna need something with a revive, or bring a billion Phoenix Downs, which is also an option, especially if I decide to do deep dungeons again. Because if I remember right, those shower you with those, and now that they're actually useful, that's actually quite nice. Master of Masterpieces. I believe that's a title for collectibles. For delivering a ton of collectibles to Rowena. It's pretty nice. Alright, I should probably wait until... Oh, and now I'll just go with the crowd for this. Yeah, they seem to alternate the, No, they don't alternate the pushback. And if only it was that easy, huh? If only it was easy as always pushback. Excellent. Bolt from the black. I don't know what that is from. Come on, really? Excellent. The DPS is making good use of that. There we go. Also, darn, I believe this one might drop a, thing. Yeah, I guess at this point, since I've already gotten all the relic done, unfortunately, unlike in Baja and Eureka, you cannot get all of the relic steps here, apparently. Yeah, like I said, this light step requires entirely daily roulettes. You cannot do it here whatsoever, which is honestly kind of disappointing because I wanted more reason to be here. Now, granted, I can at least make excuses for myself to be here. For example, I could justify myself wanting to max out Phantom Berserker and possibly other Phantom jobs just that are specifically helpful in Fork Tower, because I do plan to do that. I am part of a Discord that does it, so I might be able to sneak in at some point. The only thing to be aware of is damn near everyone wants in on that one, so it can be a bit tricky to find a team for that. Oh, wow. Whatever. The good news is, honestly, I could probably skip Fates entirely because they straight up do not give you very many rewards. I mean, let's roll this up here. I get 200 silver pieces, whereas a Fate only gives me 30, and that's a big problem right there. And 480 experience for whatever Phantom job I currently have equipped. You get 80 for a Fate. So 80 versus 480, and balls, I went to a bad spot. That seems to only exist to put chests in there, if I had to guess. Dang, someone here says they've been grinding for 5 days and didn't see a single drop. I actually think that's horrible bad luck, because even at a 3% drop rate, if you're going here that often, you should be getting a decent drop rate. Although it looks like I did get a bit lucky, because like the stuff here in this area, there's only one critical engagement for a boosted rate. And the Fates here are famous for dying extremely quickly. So apparently this is that section there is the one people can get stuck on for ages. So the fact I was stuck on greens in the cave instead I was a lot luckier for, because there's 3 critical engagements there, even if 2 are extremely rare compared to the others. Dang. Oh yeah, and another thing about Eureka now that I'm here. There's nothing to actually do in that downtime, so even if you are feeling, yeah, I'm fine with the down. So if you want to do that for any reason, but you aren't feeling, yeah, I'd like to do nothing here. I like to just farm here. You are very much at the mercy of the RNG, at least for Anemos. Starting at Pagos, they do start adding the bunny fates, which are like the pot fates, the pot missions here where you can find a chest, but reward quality aside, the biggest flaw with those is that it takes until Pyros before they actually get good. Like, there is one that some people, the southern one, people actually like to do, but they ignore the northern one, even though that's there because, first of all, the Fates has a lot beefier enemies, so it takes a lot longer, but also where's the CE? Oh, it's that one, huh? I actually do have the thing to get for that one, but it's probably still worth it because, again, I need the XP. As you can see, Phantom Berserker requires 1 billion in experience, and that's because it only has 3 levels, and I guess they wanted to be roughly the same amount of Phantom experience for all of them. But I'm also... This one's hilarious, though. It, as you saw, it makes me auto-attack faster and deal stronger damage, but it also means I can't control myself, including using other skills. So it is hilariously dumb, and I love it. there are lost actions and Logos actions in Eureka and Vaja that can also mess with builds or give you different abilities, but I don't think they have anything like that. Likewise, while there are some random effect ones, none of them are as RNG or wild magic like the Oracle, because I've got... if you were watching previous streams, I got myself killed a few times with that, which is hilarious. I guess it's wild magic just isn't fun if it doesn't have at least one option that can screw you over completely. But yeah, you can tell that Eureka they were learning as they went along, and especially since it really did push the old MMO feeling to it, it can be very slow at times. Like, even now that it's been nerfed several times, like, if you do it now, you have nowhere near as much difficulty as I did when I first did it in Stormblood, but it's still gonna be a bit of a pain in the ass because it's very... you'll be waiting a while, I guess you could say, is the best way to put it. Ah, crap, I shouldn't get in a vulnerability stack this early. It'd be one thing if it'd fall off, but, it doesn't. Yeah, this is to display all the possible summons it can do. Now, this is the one that's going to throw people off more, the sword, because I think this is you call it a star-shaped AoE? Ah, crap. But yeah, it's a bit difficult to, as you saw, I had struggled to gauge exactly where it was going to land until it did. Yeah, for this one I'm going to have to go with the crowd. Oh, Twilight Sparkle's here. Please don't overlap with me, tank. We ran the same direction the same time. What are the odds? I've actually done that like 3 times in a row. Stormblood is so dull. I can see why you feel that way, yeah. Stormblood was a very experimental one, especially after Heaven's Order was mostly just to refine everything they learned after. But for that reason, it's also got a very iffy But that also means that it has a bit of an iffy reputation among the fan base. Ah, crap. I was really bad with that. Still, they did take what they learned there, and they were able to make Shadowbringers a lot better. The only thing is Shadowbringers is a bit anemic on a lot of different types of content, because for as much as it did add, there's no avoiding that it was during the COVID years, and that absolutely affected what they had available, what resources they had available, and what they could actually do. Oh, come on, I got clipped by that. Okay, yeah, gotta be good. Maybe I should get some potions here like I had for Eureka. Like, in my inventory there's a billion Eureka potions, but that's not because I bought them. Basically, Eureka has a random loot box that gives you a random item, and that's just one of the more common things within it. Although, granted, at this point, I don't think there's anything particularly valuable in there. some of the rewards like materia were perfectly fine at the time of the expansion, but obviously power creep has set in. Hence why I just had to sell a lot of the Endwalker materia I did when I was doing catch-up and doing Endwalker content on stream while it was Dawn Trail, because none of those materials actually are worth it anymore. Wow. Me and that tank keep running the same directions. Ooh, crap. We've lost all our revivers. Yeah, this is one of the harder ones because it doesn't spawn very often, so it's a bit difficult to memorize, especially since, like I said, the star one with the sword summon, that one's very frustrating to memorize. That one's very annoying to get. Like I'm told, yeah, there's a bunch of things like the Manderville has an installment for every expansion except Shadowbringers, and again, I think that's because they didn't have the resources for it. COVID was hitting pretty hard at the time. And let's see here. Still, I do enjoy Occult Crescent, but I still stand by my assessment before, that being, it feels like it's missing something that makes me want to love it. It's not bad, in fact, it's probably about on par with Basja, maybe? I don't know. But something just prevents me from loving as much as it's here. But I do intend to go through it. I mean, it does have one benefit here. And it cannot be ignored, and that's that it's still recent content at time of streaming, and so being completely geared out and up to date on knowledge level is going to be very helpful. Ugh. Gotta keep our healers up above all else. Ow. Here we are. Yeah, that was a good healer LB3. Crap, let's go with this area first. Yeah, I'm not even attacking half the time, and that's not good, but I also don't want to die, because as you've noticed, this is a difficult one, and if too many people die, we can actually lose. But then again, this one and the Cloister one are basically the only ones who even can lose, so... Or at least I've never seen the others get to a point where... I've never seen the others either lose or get to a point where losing is actually a realistic outcome that could happen. So, there is definitely a feeling of danger, and I have to get this right. Ah, crap, I'm gonna take a hit here. I'm gonna have to. 2 Vuln stacks. I'm sure I can survive that. Well, that and it is helping them actually getting gear here. Yurik and Basja also have a dedicated gear that works only in that particular area, but it is absolutely only worth it to get for a specific field operation if you intend to grind it like I am with this one. And that is, for some cases, that can be a real if. we are, from times bygone. Excellent, lots of level ups from that. Oopsie. Yeah, that's the issue with revivals. It takes up a lot of MP. I doubt I'm gonna get enough tomes of heliometry to get the Red Mage Phantom Weapon, but I guess if I do, the option's there. Or for the next one. But I'm definitely gonna be focusing on the gear. A full set of mage gear should be good here. Looks like I definitely want the shoes next, because that's... No, the, arms, because that's gonna be the... Yeah, it looks like the arms are next, since that's the lowest eye level of the whole thing. I definitely need to get the accessories, but there's no accessories here, specifically, so I'm going to have to get those on my own time. You can also upgrade the gear here like you can all the other areas, and again, it works only for this area. The good thing about it is that the more I gear up, the more I'll be able to make mistakes in there and still be able to help others. Because I won't take nearly as much damage, I'll deal more damage. I guess if it's a big problem, I can also just switch to tank or something. Or even just Reaper, my main, but I haven't been geared those out in it yet. But I guess those would be good for raw damage. Mostly I just want to keep the parties up while still dealing damage of my own. Though I suppose if screwing up the rotation... Well, let's be real here. Most people are not doing an optimal rotation. You can call me bad if you want. I won't even disagree, but there's no way that just everyone else in this field operation is equal. Well, is going to be optimal. Let's view some adventure plates here. Yeah, did it. Sometimes it'll let. Usually you can tell if the ability actually landed if it goes on cooldown, because if the enemy target dies before your skill goes on cooldown, that usually means you didn't make it. But I've had a few times where it goes on cooldown and it still missed somehow. I should definitely keep an eye out for the pots, I suppose. Still, the good news is, like I said, if I can make up for lack of skill by just being really, really geared to the teeth. And since this is, as mentioned, this is still recent content, this is still relevant, current expansion content at time of release. This means, at the time of the stream, this means any investment I use now will be useful come the north face once that opens up. Or if they add more here in general. Like, I'm pretty sure there's at least one more relic step here, because each relic usually has 3 specific models, and we're still on the first one. And there's going to be 2 areas for this whole thing, so logic dictates there's going to be at least 3 per area. And if that adds something here to do that I think is missing, it's going to be great. Some missed the 1v1 duels from Baja, but I don't know. They didn't impress me for what I've played of them, but again, I'm not an expert. Ooh, my favorite. Even when I was doing, even after I completed this area with its demi-atmas, I was loving this particular CE because it's so much fun. Technically, you can cheese it by just taking the vulnerability stack and refusing to buy the item he recommends, but I mean, why? That's not fun. Hunt trains, field operations, the PvP. These are some really nice ways to check out the different mounts and titles everyone's got. Sadly, I don't think I have any particularly rare ones. Like I said, my rarest ones are probably the PvP ones. Oh, that plushy one there is a cash shop one. I don't... Yeah, there are some sites that track your achievements and mounts, titles, that sort of thing, but they're not always accurate. Like, LOL achievements and Final Fantasy XIV Collect, FF14 Collect typically disagree on what some of my rarest stuff is, for example, so... Well, it's not a big deal if we're completely honest. Because at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of stuff to earn. It just matters, all that matters is you will want it. Scorching first, or soon at least. Oops. Interesting, that doesn't give me a bone stack for some reason. Blue, this one's gonna be easy. Rage. Oh, come on, really? The auto attack didn't count? I thought it would. Interesting. That wasn't as punishing as I thought it'd be. Now, this one is an instant kill if it pushes you into the side, so I'm not even going to demonstrate what happens if you fail that one. The timer ran out. Recommended for you. 2, huh? This one's 2. So, ice. I just need to keep moving. Should be easy, I think. What are you buying? Selling, I'll buy it at a high price. Now behold, my thoughts offer you to burn more quick first than the last. I'm really glad that you don't have to specifically stand into that one main place you can be here. I'm glad you don't have to stand specifically in the Picto AoE to get the effect, but I want to stand in the pretty flowers, damn it. Alright, 5. So, let's see here. 4 and 1 will make 5. Behold the power of math! Hard to believe people will learn. Hard to believe people can get this right, but they couldn't get. They didn't know what a prime number is from the. Yeah, this is gonna be easy. I just keep moving. Two-penny inflation is gonna be right here. as long as someone used it. Alright, 6. So that's 4 and 2. There we go. Critical encounter 1. The Cursed Concern. Yeah, I'm gonna have no issues getting that title. The only question is, who could the villain here be? We've already gotten most of the main villains from Final Fantasy V in the game as tribute, so it'd probably have to be a minor one, or maybe it's an original based on one. I've been told that our, yeah, Prying Eye's too close to finishing. It's not gonna work. I got a decent amount here, but I need 4,000 silver pieces for each individual piece. Gold ones I'm probably going to want to be exchanging for the items that upgrade them. You use silver ones to upgrade the first level, but then gold for the second, and one of the items there is completely RNG, so... Let's see here. Now, luckily, part of me regrets finishing the Atma grind off stream, but it's, since we could have all celebrated together. But at the same time, I'm planning to be here a while, and I really didn't want to hold off. Plus, like I said, I'm still going to be through here. I mean, the easy way I can justify being here is just because the occult thing here is mostly drops from CEs and such, so... I wonder if maybe these are melting so fast because so many people here actually do have gear upgraded. I guess I could look at someone else. Yeah, that person's got 7. First of all, do they have an adventure plate? Ah, nice. Dragoon. Glamour. Longinus Zeta. That's the Realm Reborn relic. Those are one of the more frustrating ones. And remind you, this is after it's been nerfed a lot. Alright, I guess I should also, yeah. Right. Yeah, these are Arcanus. Yeah, these are, yeah, this guy is almost completely... yeah, this guy is completely in gear for this area. There's no question. And he's over-geared for it. He's doing way more damage than me. And taking less, I'd wager. And, yeah, like I said, I could skip the fates if I want, but, you know, why not? They're still giving me stuff to add up over time. Might as well have some fun with it. It's just cool seeing all these. I probably should be using the sugar glider because I did spend so long for it. But to be fair, I did spend 2 months grinding this Fenrir mount as well, so... person's excited about their Dark Knight mount. It's a pretty nice one. I'm playing a lot of Gunbreaker, but I should probably also farm with Dark Knight just to get stuff going. As much as I love Endwalker, I gotta be completely honest. I think the way the relic's working here, assuming the remaining steps work the same as this one, is how Endwalkers should have been. That is a very annoying grind or a dedication for the first to unlock the ability to buy the items that gives you the relics. And then after that, you just have to spend tomes of the relics. It gives a tome dump once the Yeah, I don't know why they don't have the single target finisher just be one button that upgrades each side like the AoE one does. I mean, seriously, how often are you going to use any of Riposte, Zwashu, and Redoublement, however you pronounce those, without doing the others? Seriously. Seriously, you're always going to do them in order when given the chance. I have no idea how they did that right, but I will pretend I did that intentionally. Oops. So satisfying. I do love that there's a couple gauntlet fights in here, just because it gives a lot more value to AoE stuff, so it's not just single target all the time. I don't like the AoE rotation for Red Mage as much, though, if we're honest. But I guess Summer does also have that option, but... Resistance is coming in. Alright, this should be good. I can let someone else revive some of these. I don't... Like I said, I'm gonna be reviving people long after the achievement's over, so... Alright, that might not have been the best decision to trust those people, but oh well. Gotta get our healer up above all else. You can actually trivialize the first half of this by using a Geomancer. Oh, come on, really? Oh, come on, really? Death isn't just painful because it gives you a debuff for losing damage. Now, this is an enrage timer. If we die here, it is over. Luckily, for the melee part, my finisher is entirely ranged, so I can keep moving. Screw it, weird, not gonna... There we are. Okay, I should have done that earlier, but yeah. Oh, probably not the one I should be using, but you know what, whatever. Oh, notes on the Mythic Idol. Oh, already got that one. Yeah, I think for this one it's gonna be easier to warp here. Oh, whatever. I can use this as a timer. Every time 30 minutes drops, that's when the next pot's gonna go. I definitely need to prioritize this baby, because this drops silver and gold, and I'm gonna, as mentioned, I'm gonna need a lot of them if I want to have a gear set that's ready for Fork Tower. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't get very many heliometry here, so I doubt it. Even though I have 1,000 now, I doubt I'm even gonna get much poetics. Or does it get poetics? Mastery, oh wow. No, I did not get poetics from this particular event. I'm glad the enemies here are actually somewhat beefy, because otherwise it'd be very difficult to catch up. Oh, I didn't get one. Yeah, only 20 people can get a pot. Yeah, only 20 people can get one, so it's possible to get skipped. Oh well, I at least got the silver for participating. Yeah, if I have to choose between pots and CE, I'm going with the pots. that enemy actually gonna take a while to die, or is it dead by the time? Yeah, it's gonna be dead by the time I get there. Where's the CE, eh? That's the, crawler monster. That is going to be more profitable than any Fate, so let's go for there. It's the weekend, so we'll probably have a bit, but it's also the end of the weekend, so people might be saying, you know what, I have work in the morning or something. Oh, random treasure coffer. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, that's why I'm keeping a stack of these demi-materias. Yeah, there's nothing in there. Maybe next time I'll get one and get to play the hot and cold minigame. On that note, I was surprised when I heard the when I noticed the dancer minigame uses the Chocobo hot and cold minigame theme from Final Fantasy IX, which was only after I'd already done that, I believe, since Final Fantasy IX I played on stream, though sadly it was before I saved my VOD, so I'm afraid I don't have any of that. I did recover one from my Final Fantasy VII playthrough. Both of those were the first time I ever played through the games on stream. So that was pretty exciting. Battle high. Thrill of battle. The expedition is here. As long as we don't have a giant, sad, naked lady here around, I think we should be in good shape. Again, I realize I'm not being completely optimal here, but like I said, I want to avoid dying above all else, and I also want to... Ah, crap, I forgot about that. I also want to keep people up. Alright, I know what he's doing. At the end of the day, a dead DPS deals 0 DPS, so... Oh, come on, really? I believe it is perfectly fine to sprint for these. Yeah, that Grip of Poison actually is... It deals raid-wide damage and gives a not insignificant DOT effect. Come on, really? Darn it. Yeah, it's so hard to get perfect. Excuse me, what? Oh, come on, really? Right, you have to be very careful. After you revive, you get a few seconds of invulnerability to get your bearings, and usually for a healer to heal you. Problem is, if you perform any action, you perform a skill, for example, you will immediately lose it. I don't think we're at risk of losing here at all, but it is frustrating, I suppose, that I keep messing up like that. Full marks. Ah, easy one. Finally. That could have been painful. Cannot do too many of these revives. And I guess since we can't get LB3 for the healers, I guess Expedition 33's outfit is pretty fitting for this place. I'm gonna trust this crowd. See, following the crowd has its perks. Of course, I could also fail anyways, so there is that. Keeping people up is what I like to do. Balls. There we are. That could have gone better. But we still got all the experience and silver pieces we wanted. Hello. Huh? Yeah, I've already got that one, so might as well get the silver pieces for it. It's not much, though. Ugh. How many people are even in here? Or left? Yeah. This means it's been here a while. I don't think we're gonna get too many people LFGing anymore. Well, people are still coming in fresh, so it's not a closed off area yet. The Chocobo one, eh? I did know some of the mobs in here do aggro on you if you're injured, but not all of them. Then again, it could also be based on mounts. Like if you're at 1 HP, they're going to prioritize that much. Not everyone here is a reasonable level, but it's not too bad, honestly. In a way, I do like that this one doesn't restrict you from areas that might be too high level for you, unlike Bozja. Because Bozja absolutely prevents you from going anywhere that's too high level for you with a literal wall. That's why, before I mentioned it's basically a corridor. I think you're supposed to chain mob kills to heal, generic mob kills to level up, and then slowly unlock the whole thing, but it's not particularly engaging. Which is weird, because the same thing happened to Eureka, but then again, Eureka doesn't wall you off based on your level. But I guess that's the complaint most have about these field operations, that it's very slow to start. Why not cheesy bread? Oh crap, they're gonna make me hungry, aren't they? Eureka, you kind of spawn the notorious monsters the same way you spawn critical engagements here. You just have to farm a particular or a particular enemy in an area that spawns them. They don't pop up automatically like the Fates do. Black Regiment. I believe I already have the one for this. Yeah, these black chocobos are all split, so I need to wait till they're together if I want to use the ultimate combo on them. Okay, Bear. These are AoEs around themselves, so let's stay back. And then over here. On you. A Black Star, the true boss, has spawned finally. Dead. And since there's no party finder when you're already in these instances, you just have to go LFG. Unfortunately, since I'm not a party, nobody's going to notice death unless they look this way, which could itself lead to other problems. Until this is over, because this one seems to consistently get me in this particular fleet. Let's keep going. Vulnerability had no effect because I still have my invuln active. Unfortunately, I do have to about dual blades. Looks like I got about 5 minutes. Might be worth skipping a CE if it means I get the pots. Look up exactly which one of these I should worry about, I guess. Yeah, like I said, the fact there's usually one running tells me, I don't have to worry about everything here. I only have to worry about ones I actually care about, and I'm discussing the pot timer in chat, and I definitely care about when pots are spawning. Hopefully I'll get one this time so I can do the hot and cold minigame. Rest assured I'm not gonna do this every night. At least that wasn't the plan. In fact, though admittedly I was planning to do something else tonight, but then I felt like this. What can I say? Guess I'm just itching to do this even though I'm done with the demi-atmo grind. Don't get me wrong though, I wish I could grind the light stage here. It would have been quite nice. Extreme prejudice. I don't want... That's the hardest one. I don't want to do that. I'm sorry. Well, let me check something here. Here we are, Occult Crescent Records. Now let's see here. Alright, yeah, none of these say... Yeah, none of these say... What was this fate called? What was this CE called again? With Extreme Prejudice. There's none here listed as needing from Extreme Prejudice from this list. So I am not... That is more reason for me to avoid it unless absolutely required. See how bad this hurts? Oh, phew. Cycle. There we are. Oh my god, I can get phantom points from these too. Huh. We'll just put the ink stained along with the AoEs here so that they get obliterated by the other players. Yeah, see, they got melted by the other players' AoEs. Yeah, it's a nice thing is you can do both of the ones here and nobody minds, unlike in Eureka Pagos where the north one's really awful. Luckily they managed to get it right in Pyros. Dang. I guess there's just a lot of people here. Yeah, I think it was worth skipping that CE. That's my least favorite one, and according to this, it doesn't even drop anything. Let's see here, what am I missing here? Shark Attack is the main one that I'm missing that I need to watch out for, because that one is extremely rare and doesn't drop anything. Calamity Bound is a story required one, so people usually do that, but it's also one of the few we can actually lose because it requires paying attention. Great Balls of Fire. The Gold Saucer sells the sword she's using, so you can get that fairly easily if it happens to be strike your fancy. Fatal Allure. Sadly, none of the fates drop any, as far as I'm aware. It's only the critical engagements. Yeah, these two here are critical engagements. This is a critical engagement. These last 5 here are all Fork Tower, so I won't be able to get that one until I get Fork Tower ready. Might as well empty my inventory of these just to keep my timer going. This one melts particularly fast. I'm not sure why. I guess because it's made out of mud. Near those when it explodes. Yeah, they explode if they get too big. That one detonated, so now this area is safe. I don't think I've ever seen this mechanic. This boss has never lived long enough for that. There we are. King of the Crescent. Might as well. Yeah, I doubt I'm going to be maxing out Berserker tonight, although it is nice if I could get close at least. Because that would be quite nice for moving on to the next one. Oh, I have dog aggro. Alright, I'll be right back in a moment. And I'm back. Someone's like, look at this normal ass party. Oh yeah, because we actually do have a a full party. Standard full party. It's not recruiting, so I guess the fate. That fate's almost over, so I'm not gonna be able to make it. That's fine. So we are a normal ass party. We even have a 2 physical, 2 magic. Or at least I think that's the setup. We might, they might use 2 melee now that I think 2 melee might be the, meta. Alright, so like if I want to upgrade my Sugarloaf hat, I'll need 3 of each of these, so. How much is that exactly? Ooh, 3 of those, that's 3,600. Battlecraft item, Occult fixative. Ooh. So yeah, that's gonna. Okay, never mind. Even just to get level 2, that's gonna be expensive as hell. Mildly a pain, not going to lie. But I suppose the point is I'm going to be here a while. Although, at the cost of upgrading all this so much, I could easily just get a second job, but geared out. And make no mistake, this stuff is not insignificant. Like, I get an additional to my main stat. I'm not sure what the special attribute is. I'm not going to even lie there. Well, good luck to them. Let's see here. At 3rd, I get Enhanced Rage. Pent-Up Rage. Increasing the potency of Deadly Blow based on the amount of damage you've taken while the effect is active. Alright, so I become enraged, and the more I take damage there, the stronger Deadly Blow becomes. Potency increases as your HP decreases. Potency scales with item level. Huh. Seems interesting. I do have all the phantom jobs unlocked, it seems, so I can work on this on my own. Alright. Freelancer levels up as I max out jobs. So as soon as Berserker's done, I'll get Occult Resuscitation, whatever that is. Well, I guess I could take a moment to look. Restores 30% max HP, and detects number of treasure coffers. You only need 10 level, you don't need all of them, so... Even then, the achievement for maxing the phantom jobs only maxes at 10, even though, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, there's 13 jobs right now. Now, granted, we could get an additional one. There's definitely going to be more in North Face whenever that gets added, but it's also possible we might get one here. I cannot summon the burb here. Unfortunate. Right, I don't want to be staying in front of that thing because, oh crap. not gonna waste the LB on this, even though that'd be hilarious and troll people, but no, I'm not gonna waste the LB on a Fate boss while they're having a CE. That would just be rude. Oh, come on, really? Oh, man. Got a good amount of healers, so everyone should be getting revived in good time. Zombie breath. Oracle, but not Berserker. Berserker's Soul Shot. We're getting a lot of work done here. Occult erudition. Did I already get it? Yeah, I did, but I need 4 still, so I guess that's about as good a reason as any for it, I suppose. Since I only have 180 minutes here, I can only really go to... Alright, so it's 30 minutes here. At absolute best, you'd be able to see about, I guess 6 bunny fate... pop fates? Might as well, not like anyone else who's using it. It resets when a CE drops, so no point in holding back in it. Critical encounter. Trial by Claw. Does this have a drop? It's this part in the center here, which is good for me. No, it looks like. Looks like the ones I'm missing left are... Alright, let's take a look. This is the... Alright, this is the 10th one. This is the shark attack, the shark one. So I'll need to keep an eye out for that one in particular. And, what's this one? The Black Chocobo. What's after Black Chocobo? The Crescent Berserker. I fought him a good amount of times, but he hasn't dropped it yet. And what's below Abandoned Descent? The Cloister Demon, yeah. And as mentioned, page 3 is the only stuff missing from page 3 is from Fork Tower, so I'm gonna have to do that eventually. I'm surprised there's an achievement for killing so many for beating it so many times, though. I guess eventually it'll be like the ones in Bazja or Baldestan Arsenal, where it's largely routed, and so it'll be... It's honestly pretty easy to get a good party there. Phantom Samurai. They have an attack that actually uses an item in the inventory, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure it's actually good, but it's something. The Historia Codex? The Kitessos Codex. Does it have something neat? Oh! Oh, neat. You can't see anything through there, but you can see the pages here. That's... And plus it's got a pop-up thing. That's neat. A little pop-up bookmark. Heh. Interesting. Oh crap, I needed to get that off. Yeah, that would have been so much easier if I hadn't missed that shot. Oh well. Alright, it's gonna be teleport the blue one, so let's go here. Get some MP back after that. And time for another ultimate combo. Come on, really? I know I'm not being optimal here, I just don't want to die. Probably should be using the Fey Touch title while streaming, if only because it's thematically appropriate. It's just, well, it's a reputation quest title, so it doesn't exactly have what you'd call prestige attached. wanted to get this maxed out so I can use the combo. Seems like most are pretty okay at this, actually, so that's good. Not nearly as many people dying. Well, bad if you want the achievement, but it does mean I don't have to worry about breaking my damage too much. Alright, I need to make sure I'm doing this here. Sadly, this won't can't drop anything I need, but still, XP and silver pieces, they add up. Especially since this is basically the only way I'm gearing this job. I haven't been playing caster nearly as much as I usually do. It's funny. I usually favor magic jobs, but dang, somebody getting 0 demi materia. Did I get streamer privilege? Did I specifically get my demi-amp drops because I had so many? Then again, even when I went off stream, the last 3 weren't that rough. Granted, as I mentioned, critical engagements give a decent amount, but there are also 3 different kinds. Not the monk. Almost 3,000 silver, almost to a new piece. And yeah, I think I mentioned it needs to be the gloves because that's the furthest behind. There's so many Hrothgars here. Oh crap. Oh right. Food bonus, I should have paid attention to that. I should have waited there. Well, the good news is the last enemy does in fact have quite a bit of beefy HP, so it will be a bit before he dies. It's not gonna be instant dead like most of them. Oh, 70. Yeah, it's gonna 90. Here's the last one. Gotta hurry, gotta hurry, gotta hurry. I can skip the CE if I have to. Yeah, that one's not a thing of value. Come on, get there before. We have to get there in time. I don't know how many are actually there. Actually, if there's a lot, it might actually be dying quickly. Okay, no, it's not. Good. It is in fact very, very beefy. Which I guess is ironic now that I realize, oh yeah, it is a cow, adjacent at least. I haven't been getting too lucky with chest swords, but I guess that's a small price to pay, given... I might as well just eat this. are. None. Ah. I guess some people decided they want the fates more often than... Oh, that's fair to them. Yeah, as people point out in chat, the fates scale a little weird. I guess I should focus on the critical engagement. Angelic circlet. Arathgar Subligar. Virus Ultima, though. I'm not sure I'm actually gonna make it in time for that CE. Eleven, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it. 3, 2, 1. Is there actually anyone here? Yeah, there's plenty. Well, I chose to do the pots instead. I think that was worth it. Pots I definitely would prioritize over these. Plus, this is... Yeah, Eternal Watch is not one of the ones that drops something, so it's not like I even missed anything I actually need. That can potentially drop something I need. That one's about to explode, so let's get away from it. Yeah, since this is going to take a bit, we'll actually get to see all the mechanics. Oops. They all aim directly at me as a person. Oops. Oh well. Helping that person get Dead Man's Tail, unless they already have it. They have Good Samaritan, which is adjacent. I looked at it. For the people who nuclear crates in seconds. Ew. Berserk time. A berserked red mage can't possibly end badly, right? Guess my rage worked. Now, at least the more of these pieces I get, the better. Significantly increasing my main stat will make it significantly easier. Max. I know I should basically never use Jolt unless I've got the upgraded version, but oh crap, it's used. Well, this is gonna hurt. Still a long ways from getting the max achievement for getting them all the fates. So whatever. Talking about in chat, and I do agree here. The fate scaling in this area is kind of weird. One person said that it's taking forever, but then they reset it, and then suddenly it was easier. Yeah, you probably noticed, but you have to get there within like 5 seconds and tag it if you want credit. Meanwhile, now that we're not nearly as populated, it's being a pain in the ass. Yeah, see, now that we actually have people here because the CE ended, it's melting like glue. Well, the sun sets. What am I even on about? Alright, I believe that's the Berserker ones. Yeah, the Unbridled, that's Berserker. Alright, Bazaka, time for you to give me your notes so that I can fill up your entry. Feels like every field op is missing something major, I guess is the best way to put my feelings towards it. Yeah, there's a lot of arguing here. Let me just say, as someone who was here when Eureka and Baja came out, they were not beloved like many, or at least like many like to say. They were heavily criticized for being a slow start, and Anemos, as I mentioned, has a lot of downtime that, without anything to really give you a reason to say this is worth your down, without anything to really say, hey, well, this will be worth your time in the future. Plus, like I said, it was a very slow start, which has largely been nerfed now. So, and Eureka and Baja wasn't much different. I keep saying that the only was universally loved, and the only people who didn't like it were content creators and forum goers, which I'd hesitate to call upon the silent majority and claim claim we are them. That's just my opinion. Damn it. Oh wow, we're all fighting over whether Eureka was universally loved. Yeah, I just keep insisting that the only people who complain are people I keep talking about while everyone else played it and enjoyed it. But I still hesitate to say the silent majorities there. Like, how would you know that everyone loved it? Yeah, like, how would you know if no one's talking about? How would you know? It's just a group of friends and stuff? Because, like, my FFC was pretty split. Half loved it, half hated it, but... Crap. There we go. Critical Encounter 1. Here we go. Berserker. There we go, the Zerker has been added. Like, don't get me wrong, there were people who liked it, but there were also people who loved Stormblood itself on release, but it was still one of the most heavily criticized, it was the most heavily criticized expansion prior to Dawn Trail. Some might even say it is more, but I don't know about that. I think we'll have to wait till after. Yeah, people running it a lot are much more fabled to it. Let's see here, Expedition Trader. Nemus was huge and well liked because it was a world scale. Exception was average, hated Pagos, loved Highways Aurorados. Also, a lot of people hated Eureka Baja hate this because they like to grind out. Darn it. Oh well, it was worth a try. Now it does get rough because it was such a drastic lowering of rewards that increase some grind to get gear from it. just take the word aloud minority. Now, which is the CE? Is it the fish? It is the shark. But what? For just a group of friends talking. As much as everyone hates the DT story, the dungeons most seem to be like considering it a step up, and I guess it makes sense. It is the one of the few it's actually. Ooh, I'll roll a polyp. Oh, I didn't have that one before apparently. Polyp minion. The shadowed city of echoes the footfalls of this hulking, vaguely man-like scourge. Despite its mortal appearance, it's no different into the soulless void sent in the nearby streets, an artificial construct brought to life by ethereal energies for use as a familiar, like as not. Given the soul shard in its possession allows it to wield berserker's techniques, it more than makes up for what intelligence makes up for pride and fury. The fact that people was brought out. How are you supposed to learn that's not just a group of friends then? I'm gonna have to keep moving, I suppose. I can't cast anything like this. Oh, this peak is about to start. I don't want to eat more of this stuff, but... Oh, what am I doing? I should have done this. Yeah, this is the one I was supposed to do earlier. I really don't know that. I've only been in this fight twice. I'm sorry. I don't remember any of it. Let's go all the way around here. I cannot cast. I do not have time to cast anything here, so it's unfortunate, but I guess I need time to get my MP back, so I'll take it. Everyone's fighting over the best expansion pack now. Gotta see some appreciate Endwalker, though. Darn it, I think this is one of the last ones I'm missing, actually. This one... Oh no, there's two I'm missing. Yeah, the Cloister Demon and this guy. Oh shit! I might be able to make it. Let's hurry. There we are. Tagged it. Finally got one. Far to the northwest. I think Shadowbringer is probably going to remain the most popular expansion. Not to say that's not valid, mind you. They are 100% valid in that opinion, of course. Unless that's, yeah, it's not Cloister, so I can afford to miss it if I need to. Far to the west. So here. Oh, it's gonna be on that cave thing again, isn't it? I might actually need to go with Ninja for this. Let's see if I can go there. Yeah, the person's, yeah, I decided to throw the person. Alright, if you can't listen to the majority, how do we tell if they're good or not? How do we know Shadowbringers is good and DT is commonly criticized? I used Stormblood at first, but for people lately have been really trying to rewrite history that Stormblood was loved on release. My dude, you can look up videos that talk about how bad it was on release. So Raubon EX is probably all I need to say for most old heads to realize is why there's flaws. Southwest. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Ninja for this. I have to be careful because when I activate this, it stealths me. Southwest. Immediately the west. So it's gonna be right here on the edge. Here it is. Bronze, but at least it's something. There we go. Silver, gold, and most importantly... Alright, I'm party leader. I need to make sure to do that. Did the CE already start? Yes, it did. Scourge of the Mind. Is that one that drops one? Should I be pissed off? No. It is only the shark and... Okay, they're good to know. Do 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 do. only bronze, aw. ARR had 5 years to make, while DT only had 1. That is true, but they also had plenty of time to plan out DT. I absolutely respect anyone who likes DT a lot more than I do. I've often said, I don't hate it, it's just, it left me with so many mixed feelings. I have been told the side stories do flesh out a lot of the world building a bit. But, and I admit I should do those. I haven't done those since Stormblood. I should do them for all the expansions, but, whatever. Yeah, generally anyone who likes this expansion usually quotes the raids and as part of that, because, and it makes sense, this expansion has been very raid heavy, including introducing the concept of chaotic raids. And of course, like I said, dungeons are the most fun I've had since, because during my roulettes I end up getting, what was it? There's a Heaven's Ward dungeon, and that required some interesting set pieces. I can stay here until it kicks me out to some degree. At around 15, yes, about 16 minutes left, and we'll get the final pots that I can possibly go here, in which case I might finally have to call the stream. And it's a little painful, but it does feel like I have an easier time him skipping someone. I think, okay, it doesn't. I can't get everything anyway, so I might as well make sure I do what I like. It's kind of how I am with gotchas. You don't want it to become a second job, I guess is what I'm getting at. Because if you're doing it because, oh no, I need this, or I will fall behind, or I have an obligation, you might want to rethink it. Circle. Bottleneck, not. not an argument whether they should have more whether they should have more, less savage content for more normal, or more normal, less normal for more rage. Yeah, see, I've barely gotten any heliometry from that. They got a point, they are sooner to delay an ultimate than a savage tier, although, ultimates usually have other things. Though I do think these field operations were a good idea in the general sense. These are, technically speaking, a lot of content, even if they're mostly an island of sorts. I don't think the person being more malicious or anything I said it was always loved. I think it's just easy to forget. Stormblood was 3 whole expansions ago now. Ooh, critical encounter. Cloister. Go. We might make, yeah, we should be able to make it. A whole minute. Will we make it? I think we will. We just have to be hurrying. We made it. Well, it's not. Oh, we haven't made it until we're actually in the blue. There we go. Nice and Mooga. Rain Pier. Figmental Rain Pier. Here we go. Calamity Bound. We have to remember, I've decided to remind everyone to prioritize the seals. That was a little close, huh? Tidal breath hold. There we are. You. Crap, I don't want to be in front of it when it does Tidal Breath. Can't allow anyone to be dead for this. Steel Roar. There we go. This should be enough. Hopefully my magic shield helped us. Oh crap, that's no good. Damn it. Phew. At least someone got his notes. I did not get his notes. That is disappointing, because this is actually one of the hardest ones. Oh well. I did at least get the pots one, and that's also one of the hardest ones, so. Alright, so caster gloves. Also want to extract the materia from these where possible. Yeah, I don't know why I forgot all this. Caster gloves. Wrist gloves of casting. Here we are. Yeah, this is definitely something I want to do before I call it here. Well, let's see here. It has been almost 3 hours, so I could keep going. I'll see how I'm feeling after the timer runs out, but I am glad that I've been doing this a good bit. Honestly, I'm even surprised I'm almost at 10k for the, talking about a lot of stuff in chat, I'm not sure, whereas, that needs to be explained, but for the chat, you guys mean. It's mostly just discussing the difficulty of balancing casual, mid-core, and its content. Thrill of combat is enhancing various capabilities. Yeah, I do not mind at all missing that CE if I get a pot. If not, I will be very sad, but I understand. gets reset during a CE anyways. I can eat this hit. Oh yeah. Far to the west. Noise complaint does not drop anything, so we're going west. Alright, west it is. Give me an elixir. I'm getting a lot of sheep notes on persistent pots, but I guess I can exchange those for more silver. As established, I'm going to need quite a bit of all of them if I want to continue all this. Gold, it depends if I want the glamour gear from the tyrant gear or if I want something else. The north. Ah, I think I know what's leading me. Luckily the pot doesn't have fall damage. Oh, technically I do. South. That means it's right here, isn't it? Oh, it was out that corner or something, I guess. Ooh, well, it was worth going here just with this random treasure coffer. Clear demi-materia. Yeah, I'm gonna be getting quite a stack of that. It does technically cap at 99, but I get the sense I'm not going to have to worry about that. Far the northwest. Is it going to be on this rock? Southeast. That means here. Here? West. Oh, on this rock, then. Right here, then? There it is, a bronze. There we are. Not much, but like I said, it all adds up in the end. There's also achievements if you really want to grind them out, but I'm sorry, you're going to need a player with more patience on this than me. I am not going to do that. In fact, let me take a look at the achievements right now. Yeah, looks like some people are already heading over there. Alright, let's go to achievements, field operations. Let's filter out the ones we've already gotten here. I don't have any from Baja, actually, so that's probably not smart. Occult treasure chests. This is Persistent Pal. That's the only title there. I'll leave them to stay there. That was a productive night. I got... Berserker is very, very close to maxing out. 2K is almost nothing, honestly, so I'll definitely be moving on to another one. Possibly Knight, since I already tried that one. That one's good in the general sense. Both of them are solo and if I'm in groups, so... Monk's also the one with a buff that people like, so I should consider... Yeah, the starter ones are definitely worth considering, but for the moment... Here we are. And let me put on the Expedition 33 outfit. There we are. Wonderful. 700, 745. Good stuff. But I guess that's going to be it for now. Bit of a shorter stream this time, but, yeah, 265. I basically was out of those, so it's not bad. I guess that's 26 CEs in total, which is definitely not bad, but... We're definitely going to be making progress over time. And plus, it'll probably be easier once I upgrade to the Phantom Red Mage weapon. It's going to be about 10 to 12 days before I finish the next step and I can upgrade. So I can definitely spend them on a new weapon, but getting a fourth one by then might be iffy. Especially if I do a lot of other stuff then. I know this is a bit short. The others are for like 5 hours and this one's 3, but I'm basically here because I want to now. And hey, we only have 2 pieces left. I guess the shoes will have to be next since everything's the same price anyways. Technically the pants give more stats, but that one's higher. I'll think about it, but the shoes are technically the lower eye level, and I do need to care about that. At the very least, I should probably get the Neo Kingdom. At the very least, I should probably get the Quetzali. The gear for the caster. Like, I've already got the ring here. Well, I'd say that was a fun night. I swear I won't be doing nothing but Occult Crescent from here on out. So, like I said, I was just really, really itching to play some more of this tonight. One way or another, I guess. So I'll see if I've got what I'm in the mood for next time. But until then, thank you for watching, hope you had a good time, and I'll see you later.